Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another WWE Champions video, and today is another episode of Who to Take 7-Star. This one being Trickster Females. Now, there's two things I want to go over before we even get to Lady Tricks. One, thank you guys so much for the support. We hit 400 subscribers, which is really crazy to think about considering we were only at like 300 a week ago or something like that. So that was a very rapid growth. So thank you to everyone who has subscribed, and please make sure to subscribe and join the dynasty. So that's number one. Thank you guys so much for the support. Number two, I want to talk about a video I made yesterday. If you haven't seen it, it is the top 5 characters to take 7-star trick males. From I can confidently say that I am maybe a little bit dumb, just a little bit. So, the community after that video was made, I got a lot of comments. I also got a few other stuff of people just talking about, hey, I don't agree with this. I think these characters is here and this is better, and I, completely agree with a lot of people's statements and what they're saying and opinions, right? A lot of people were telling me here, let's go to them real quick. JBL Hall of Fame is not as good as I thought he was. Again, from what I heard from other people, he was doing about 700 mil. Sounds like he's only doing about 450, 500, which is obviously a lot less, right? Characters like AJ Styles, Hall of Fame, he has a billion damage move set. It's a little bit, it's a little hit or miss, but it's still pretty good. So I think Half AJ's better now than him. And Half AJ JBL was my number one. Obviously now, I don't think he is. A lot of people are talking about John Cena last time is now. Obviously he has great hot tag stuff, but someone also showed me something here. Where is he? There he is. I can't currently do it, but people are now running a tricolor build with Kane and Triple H, Triple Cerebral Assassin for 2 more MP, and then they're running, Santa Hogan and Bo, and if you're 7-star, you can run Punk. With the Rainbow Snowfall, and this is doing like 800 mil. From what I'm hearing, about even lowest case, like 600 something million, like a lot of damage turn 1 completely. So John is actually, I think, on the list now. There's just a lot of things I did really, really wrong, and I want to own up to this. Obviously, right, that's a subjective list, but now hearing what other people have to say, I do want to change it up a little bit. So, in case you did watch it, or in case you haven't watched the Trick Male, my number one, I'm probably going to put Bo, just because with the right stuff he can do so much damage guaranteed. It is what it is. And number 2, I'm going to give you a toss-up between Half AJ Styles and John Cena last time is now. Again, just flip them. It's either 2 or 3 for both of them. Completely depends on what you want. Steve, Alliance Steve is a really tough call. I think you could put him in 4. I think you could honestly maybe put Ray and JBL over him, just because he does have Cascade Rest. But I'm gonna put Steve at 4, and then 5 is literally a toss up between Ray and JBL. They're pretty similar actually with everything from what I'm seeing. Other than the fact that Ray has a hot tag, but JBL does have, I think, a better link because he's got Hall of Fame link. So either or is kind of who you can do. So again, thank you guys so much as a community to help me kind of understand more about the tricks. Again, Trickster is actually the really only class where I don't have that many characters on the list that were done or just don't have them. Like, I don't have JBL. I don't have AJ Styles. I don't have Ray. I do have John, but I'm not running him this new way that I never thought about, which is great to see. Some new builds. I have Steve, but he's not that high. I don't have, I have Savage, but he's not that high. Well, he is high, but Some people really like the sub build, and don't get me wrong, I think that's a great thing to run. It's just not my favorite, just because it's turn 2, and then if he gets pinned, you know, he'll be he's like a zombie dom situation. And obviously Orton's not that high either. So Tricks to me was a lot harder. But yes, thank you guys so much for just, you know, stating what you think is best, and I completely agree. I completely agree with everything there. So if you do watch that video ever, just take that with a grain of salt, and now knowing what I know now. But yes, thank you guys so much for that. But now we can get on to the lady females, which is the actual part of this video. Obviously, in case you have not seen these videos before, and obviously as you can just see with what we just talked about with the trick males, these lists are subjective, completely subjective. Again, my number one might not be the same as your number one, clearly, in case you didn't know. That can definitely happen. And you might like number 2 or number 3 more, so it just depends on who you have and who you're going to use more, right? Again, the point of these videos is it's just help inform you guys who I think is the best possible choices to take 7-star if you want a character to go 7-star, and the best choice for your roster, depending on what you guys have. That's the whole point of these videos. That's obviously right. These videos might get well outdated relatively fast in a few months, but I do think these will help just because we are getting 7-star tokens a lot more now. You know, you're usually, if you're someone who maxes out the solo events for the week longs, you're getting 1 token at least a week. So we're starting to see more and more of them getting pushed out. So that's why, hence why I want to talk about these. And then in case you are from the future and watch this video, the last lady trick that came out as of recording this is AJ Lee, which is kind of surprising because she's kind of old now, but she's a few months older. But I believe she is the last trick lady to come out. So with that being said, we'll actually start with the list. I do have 2 honorable mentions, and then we can go to the top 5. Honorable mentions are in no particular order. However, I do think one is better than the other. We'll start with this one. It is Rhea Ripley, the Judgment Day. As you can see, Rhea is the queen of moments. She's got 6 moments. Here, let's start here. So she's got this moment. 2 or purple gem, 200. All right. Fashion feud, though. Countdown plus 6. This moment is a showdown moment that gives her a bunch of stuff. This moment is a feud moment that gives her purple gem and stuff. This moment is also a feud moment that gives her purple gem. This moment is just a built-in purple and a bunch of other stuff. This moment is a built-in gem 50 and stuff. So she's got a lot of moments. However, I'm going to be honest with you. She is not going to scale very well. I think a lot of people probably will only run her because she can be Eyes of Judgment, and it's actually kind of a pain to deal with her with this move. But for the most part, I really wouldn't say she's that great. I just needed another trick to put on because unlike trick male, trick female, there's actually not that many options as you would think. We need more. We need more trick ladies. But yeah, so this one, I really don't consider her the greatest thing in the game, but I'd say Judgment version of her isn't awful. This is a pyro, which will make blue, but it's a countdown, so it's like you can't really set off blue Piper plate with her, so that really doesn't help her. Well, actually, you do decrease countdown gem timers by 1. So if you could figure out a way to hit this move, because they are 1 turn, you need to hit this move, make pyro black, and then decrease. You could, yeah, you can blue Piper, but it's not going to do that much damage. So she's just an honorable mention. She's also by far the worst one on the list. She does have a gear that does help her out a lot, as it is all color 6, which is great. But she doesn't really hit. She doesn't really hit. She doesn't really do a lot. She's missing a good chunk of damage output that she just doesn't have and she won't be able to get. So that's why she's an honorable mention, but she is definitely probably the worst character on the list. So that's just my opinion, though. Now, my other honorable mention that is way, way better is Trish Stratus, Canadian Icon. Trish does have some stuff going for her. She is in this John Cena Returns Royal Rumble moment that gives her health and 100% red and 100% yellow, so that's not bad. I think most people run her the Chick Kick here. The Luthez is her main wave damage, as that has an increase, and it says Snowfall Red. And then I know some people run the traps for a little bit of unblockable, I think is what they're running over this Stratosphere. So she just doesn't really also hit as hard. She hits harder, but even with the increased universal snowfall, stuff like that, she's probably only doing like 200-300 mil at 7-star, which really isn't worth it, especially with a universal, rainbow snowfall. But she's not terrible. She's actually really solid at gold. I do like her still. I haven't used her that much, though, just because there's so many better lady tricks now. But she can do some really cool stuff. And if you don't have a better attitude female like China, she is an attitude female. So she's not bad. And she does get 50% health from the moment, which is useful. As actually, not a lot of tricks get big health stuff for females. So it's good to always have health. But that's why she's an honorable mention for right now. All right, number one is really probably no one's shock is AJ Lee Black Widow. There's a few reasons why she's my number one compared to some of the other people that we're going to get into at number 2, 3, and 4. And that is she's got two very distinct ways to run her that are really good, depending on what you have. Obviously, I run her this way. I do not have her gear, so I run her this way. This, combined with Steve Blackman, as you can see there, that is 8 million per account down there, is a very big unblockable damage. And it's a one-charge move. So it's pretty difficult. Also, that does some unblockable right there. There's another 500k on each one, too. So it's very good unblockable. Now, the main reason this build really comes together is Eyes of Judgment. I have Haku and Eyes of Judgment just because this belt was shared with New Day's World Kofi Kingston. Obviously, if you were just going to run this and just have it on her, you would run Heart of Jade as your basic plate, I believe. But the main reason we run this is Eyes of Judgment. Obviously, in case you don't know, whenever you make 6 or more countdown gems, deplete 6 MP from each of your opponent's moves. This is every turn. My AJ Lee against 7 stars in feud does about 250 mil, I believe. Give or take around there, about 200, 250. Which is fine. It's not the most damage in the game, right? The difference is this, you're never really going to hurt her, ever. And obviously, if I had Triple H, Cerebral Assassin, this would do even more damage because he adds another 50% to those big countdowns that do 4 mil a pop. So they would do 10 million countdown gem, and we make the bottom 3 rows in the countdown. So it's pretty freaking strong. And again, one charge, and it's really hard to deal with. It is really hard to deal with. So that is one build, and I do really like it. The second build is mainly if you have her gear. Her gear is Purple Gem 100, which is, useful. Purple Gem is her main color, right? And that is the red, blue, red build. These 3 right here. So, one charge move gains MP, and if you generate a cross break, she's just making 10 random and a multi of strength 14, which is kind of wild. Oh no, this goes to 15s. Alright, so very good, right? It's a good freaking build. So that's one charge, you don't need to run an MP trainer. This makes color turns. You run Punk's Gauntlet for the most part. You run Punk's Gauntlet, this will give you 500% gem buff. Really good. Really, really good. And you can run, I believe it's Devon specs. I don't know if there's a better plate. Well, actually, well, that's a combo move, so no. So I think Devon Specs is the other, the basic plate for her. And then the main coup de grace here is this move, which makes 10 random color turns into multi-string 7, and then, make 49, the whole board purple. Bo obviously makes this way stronger, a bunch of multi-people, because you can run a bunch of multi-people like Kane and Sherry, because this is a one-charge move. You just get a lot of multis and a lot of multi-string. Actually, you would run Mosh probably on this one. Mosh and Sherry. So yeah, Mosh, Sherry, Bo, and if you have Leo, you can run Leo. But this does a lot of damage. Again, one charge. From what I can tell, a 7-star AJ Lee is only doing about 4, maybe 500 mil with this build, which is a little odd. The bonus damage move, I honestly think is better just because it has safety and so. But it is completely up to you. Unfortunately, yeah, it's really weird because, 500 mil isn't actually that big of a gem. A 7-star, it's actually really not. But Trick Ladies don't really have much better than that. I mean, there's a few things you can maybe do with some people here that we're going to show that might hit harder. But safety, there might be some cascade risk problems and stuff that it's just like, I don't think you'd run it. But this is why AJ Lee is number 1. Just because, yeah, there's really no competition for her right now. Which, yeah, I mean, if we get a new Lady Trick, even if it's an S tier, I would presume it'd be better than AJ Lee. So just keep that in mind. But right now, there's really no other one I think that is better than her. Number 2 is going to be EO Sky, Genius of the Sky. Now, EO does have a few things going for her. One, she does have a moment evolution that is all color 50, 100% more health, multi 3. Like, this is a big deal. This is a huge deal to have if you can. 100% health, even though it's a trick, is going to help you in the long run. Obviously, more health better, especially at 7-star, as 7-star would give her a lot more health. I can't tell because of, it's max, but she'd probably have about 300 mil base at least. I don't remember how much she would have, but probably about 300 mil base, which means, again, 100% health. It's going to help you out there a good chunk. This is what I consider my favorite build. However, we will talk about another one because there is one that is really interesting as well. Green move here, gains purple, makes, the leftmost column trap. And broken by you, because you're going to be the one who breaks it, you'll increase your multi by 3, which is pretty good. This one makes the rightmost column in the multi strength 10, and it's an alright reversal. I mean, having a trap reversal is great. It's just what she does with it isn't, because she really doesn't break those leech gems, because they are high-ass strength, but she's not really going to break them ever. And then obviously the diving moonsault makes the 7 trap green, and then we'll make the 7 multi purple. So big increased strength, and then made them purple. Very high strength multis. This build at 7-star, I really don't think it's going to do that much damage. To be honest with you, I mean, even with the plates here, I got Tama and the Barber Shear. Realistically, you would want Authority's Crown, but that's only 25% more damage. I don't think she's going to hit that hard. Or at least as hard as you would like. She's got no safety. She does have some reversals that you got to worry about. She's got Gain and Peace. She's got Trap Gem. She's got Multi, which is pretty common stuff. Honestly, it's probably the 3 most used reversals in the game that people really like, other than like Pyros. There's a lot of Pyro people, Pyro reversal characters, but otherwise, it's tough to worry about this. But it's not a terrible build. It will hit probably about 300-400, maybe a 7-star bronze, but it's one that I wouldn't say is going to really turn on anyone for the most part. However, she does have another moveset that is really freaking interesting. The Meteor here will increase our black MP by 10. Let me see which trap gem it is. Which one is this? Bleed. If broken by you. One. I think it's this one. I think it depends. Which one? But I think it's that one. And then the finisher here. Which will increase remove damage chance by 100%, which is good. And then swap a 1x7 random and green. People then run the gem chucker plates of break green, make yellow, and then I believe the May plate to just try and break as much of those trap gems as possible, because it's relatively okay unblockable, whether you run this for, huge bleed for 2 turns, or if you want to have a relatively big health steal. It just depends on what you want. This one has more safety, but it's going to hit less, I think, for the most part. So yeah, Io is just... she's not quite there. I really don't consider her 7-star worthy. To be honest, I really don't consider a lot of these tricks 7-star worthy. Even AJ Lee, I think her best build is like the one charge with the purples and, just being defensive nightmare. And you will beat a 7-star just because they won't be able to do anything, especially if you have Eyes of Judgment. Bliss, this other one we have Bliss. I got, a bunch of other people. Bliss is the next one, by the way, at number 3. But Io just doesn't quite hit hard enough and do some stuff that I would like. I don't know if I would consider her 7-star worthy, other than the fact that she would get a bunch of health. I think that's the main reason people will run her, or take her 7-star. All right, number 3 is Bliss here. Bliss is pretty much just Io, but worse for the most part. She would run the same belt, by the way. These two do share a belt. So they run pretty much the same thing. From what I know, this is Bliss's best build. Actually, that's not true. That's not true. Actually, Bliss might be better than Io. Hold on. This build is what most people run her, but I don't think it's her best build. So let's talk about that. 32 random trap gems broken by your opponent, whatever. If broken by you, we make 4 random into purple. Right, so this helps the Tama, this helps the stuff. This just destroys them, and if they're attacked, we increase our purple by 150. And then this is a sub to help us be, safer. Her gear does make this way better, as it's purple 150. And she's in the evolution moment, so she's getting 100% more health, and I'll color 50. However, there are other builds. I believe it is this. Because we need to talk about this, I think. This. Okay, what else are they running? Because this is that. Choose one with snowfall. Red. But that is bonus damage. That's whatever. Alright. I want to say people run her this way. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think people run her this way. Because they run the snowfall. They run rainbow snowfall. They hit it, they choose the 5x1, and they put the silence down. Then they're going to make 22 times 6 is obviously king, bow, helps you out a lot, right? Actually, they might put traps down first. I'm not sure, but then you put the traps down and you hope you can swipe. I think that's what they do. Otherwise, they might be running this. And they have the reversal of increased move damage, but they chooses this arena blue. Let me know on Bliss. Bliss is a really interesting character because she actually has a lot of stuff. I don't necessarily think she's better than Io per se, but because she does have Cascade Rest if you do run the blue stuff. But she might hit harder with Cascade Rest, so maybe you'll like her more. I don't think she's better than AJ Lee. To be honest with you, I still think AJ Lee will always be the queen right now until we get an actual new release of a card. Or Mythic Plates get something really interesting. But right now, I'll have Bliss at 3 and Io at 2. Again, let me know if there's something I'm missing with Bliss. I do think her actual big gem builds are probably Cascade Risk, which doesn't really help her out a whole lot, but again, let me know in the comments if there's something I'm missing on her. All right, next character on the list, number 4, is going to be Liv Morgan Oblivion. Liv has some interesting stuff as well. I think for the most part, people consider this her best moveset. You know, color turn so she can use the Punk's Gauntlets, and she has a built-in increase 200%, and then can make a bunch of color turn red. And she has to choose 6 red. She can double down the increase for 400%. I also really don't see this hitting that hard. I mean, I know she has you know, the sub stuff, but I really don't see her other builds doing better than this. So again, let me know on this one, but like Liv is just one as well that I'm not too fond of. But I know she can do some really interesting stuff. I don't know how hard she's hitting for. Again, let me know on that. She very well, you know, people very well might be doing like NW Hogan stuff, but I don't think they are. Just because her charges seem a little too high to me. But yeah, let me know on Liv, because like she does have some interesting moments as well. Like color turn 75, all color, you know, 100. This is another color turn 300. And stuff like that. So that kind of helps her. And then this gives her another gem 50. So I just don't know a whole lot about Liv. I do think she's number 4, maybe number 5 actually. She might be number 5. We'll see. We'll talk about the other character here that I have. That these two might be kind of interchangeable, but I might actually lean towards the other one over her. Again, Liv, it just seems so odd. She really only has one build, and to me, in my head, 400%, you know, on a good chunk of the board is not going to be quite enough to be doing big damage. I mean, I think she might do 200-300 at 7, but again, that's not a lot. It's not a lot of damage. So, she just kind of seems like she's lacking a bit, and I don't see me taking her up. But let me know. Let me know about Liv, because yeah, I don't see me using her, and her build just doesn't seem worth it. So again, let me know. Last on the list is Naomi. I actually think I might put Naomi over Liv because of this. This seems better to me than Liv. Naomi has this move here. Choose 6 to make it red. Then just choose a 7x7 to radius make multi-strand tip. This is a 1-charge move. This is a 1-charge move. Which is pretty crazy. She doesn't really use her other moves. Like, this move's just here kind of for the reversal. This move's here because if we are choosing red, well, guess what? This does, you know, 31 million bonus damage for every player turn. So, you know, I guess we'll use it. But it's mainly this move that's being used. And, you know, just kind of using that with, where is she? There she is. And they're just kind of using big multi-strength and stuff, right? Because the difference of what they're doing is they're trying to blow up the board as much as they can. Because it's a combo move, it sets off rumbles twice. I don't think... Oh, mine still has it. Okay. So yeah, you would blow up the board, rumbles will set off twice, and it would hit all of these multis. You could now run Pentas Plate as well. I don't know if that's better, though, than the Red Rumble. Maybe. I think that actually is pretty comparable. And her moment does help, as she's got all Gem 50, red Gem 50, so 100%, and then 50% more health. And she's got fantastic links with Zombie, and You're the Zombie, and she's a high tech, which will increase blue gem, which doesn't help her really with this build, but high techs are still a high tech. So I actually probably would put Naomi over Liv, just because she can do a lot more stuff. I mean, heck, you could maybe even make an argument that Naomi's better than Bliss. I'm not too sure on that one. But, again, let me know. Let me know if you guys use them a lot more, because, yeah, unfortunately, right, Tricksters are so... just don't have a lot For females, that I just use AJ Lee and EO sometimes, but mainly AJ Lee, and she kind of carries everything, to be honest with you. So this is kind of an interesting video compared to last episode where we did the 7-star male Trickster. 7-star male Trickster is one of the most decked out classes for people that actually are good and worth 7-star, where this is probably the worst class lady-wise of people that I think are worth 7-star. Because even AJ Lee, who I think is probably the best choice right now, doesn't really quite hit hard enough, and she's mainly just going to be used probably as a defensive character. So for the most part, this class very well might be a wait until there's someone new, or if you really feel like it, you can do AJ Lee. However, if you're like me who runs blue, purple, purple, at 6 gold, AJ Lee is probably going to still beat a 7-star, as mine has. The only reason why you would take her up is just for health. And because there's so many good trick males, I think I'd rather save my tokens and go take up a bunch of them over right now what we have for female. Because if you don't know, there is so many good trick males that I do think are worth 7-star. But that's it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, if I missed anything in particular, or if you think there's someone better. Again, to recap, honorable mentions, I got Rhea, Judgment Day, and Trish Stratus, Canadian Icon. My number 1 is for sure AJ Lee. My number 2, I'm going to have EO. Number 3, I'm going to have Bliss. Number 4, actually, instead of Liv, I'm going to swap Liv with Naomi, and then number 5, I'm going to put Liv. Just because Liv, I really don't see being that crazy. But again, let me know what you guys think. And if you were here this long, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Again, thank you guys so much for 400 subscribers, and I hope we can continue to build the dynasty. So please subscribe if you haven't, and if you do enjoy these videos. And if you have made it this far into the video till the end, thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video.